Good day, I am Selena, the self-care alchemist for Salyana Essentials, and I am also your guide here at the Burnout Diaries. So this is a YouTube series where I share the raw, unfiltered stories of what burnout really looks like. And that's behind the scenes. It's just not about overworking, it's about that emotional toll, the slow, quiet unraveling, and the journey back to wholeness. New episodes of the Burnout Diaries are posted on YouTube every Thursday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope each one helps you feel less alone. So, today's story is very personal for me, and this episode is in memory of Tony, who is my daughter's father, and what his passing taught me about grief. The what it taught me about the grind culture and why we must protect our health. So, in full transparency, it is utterly amazing how God works. And for me, I believe in God. Whatever your spiritual beliefs are, apply it. The higher power. It's amazing how it works. I planned out the Burnout Diaries. I recorded episodes, pre-recorded like 20 episodes, and they span anywhere from 2 minutes up to 6 minutes. I have those already scheduled on YouTube, and I decided to go back and share an extended version of those stories because it's important. It's one thing to just hear, the story about what happened, but it's another thing to really be able to understand how I got through it, how I navigated through that experience, how it related to the burnout, how it led me on my journey of recovery. So this is one of those episodes where I am taking a deeper dive, and as I dive into the story, some of them are really challenging to share, challenging to tell. But getting back on where I was going with this story is I've pre-recorded those sessions, and going back and recording these extended. Today is the anniversary of his passing, and this definitely wasn't planned in me recording this episode. So I have notes just to make sure that I stay on point with everything. So again, Tony passed away from a heart attack at just 42 years old, and it was sudden. There was no warning signs. There was absolutely no time to prepare. And it literally happened 12 days before my daughter's 16th birthday, and just 24 days before what would have been Tony's 43rd birthday. And it shook me to the core. And it was not just because we lost a loved one, but it was because how we lost them. And Tony was dealing with Crohn's disease, but the doctor said that it wasn't Crohn's disease that took him. It was a heart attack. And the part that really haunts me to this day is his father passed away in a similar way and around the same age. And that was another heart attack, another black man gone too soon. And we say natural causes, but what's natural about it? Working long hours, pushing through pain, ignoring fatigue until our body shut down. And Tony's death, it wasn't just a tragedy, it really was a mirror for me, because I was doing the same thing. I was burning the candle on both ends. I was working 16-hour days, and I was pushing, I was producing, I was ignoring the signs that my body kept giving me. And his passing, it forced me to ask myself the question, What am I doing for myself in the name of survival? And let's talk about facts for the moment, because this isn't just about my story, it's about a pattern. 1 in every 5 deaths in the US are caused by heart disease. And every 33 seconds, someone in the US dies from cardiovascular disease. Black Americans are at a higher risk, and this is due to a mix of stress, access to care, and systematic factors. And heart attacks are often misdiagnosed in women, especially in black women. And we're told it's anxiety, it's fatigue, or it's just stress. And when you're constantly in the fight or flight mode, your body stays flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. And over time, it weakens your immune system, it spikes your blood pressure, and it puts the dangerous load on your heart. So burnout isn't just mental, it's physical. And it lives in your chest, it lives in your gut, it's in your bones. Grief, especially unprocessed grief, it adds to that weight. And in the grind culture, we're rarely given the space to feel, to be left alone to heal. It's like you're constantly having to just go and just move and not really have the time to properly grieve or to just be alone and heal. After Tony passed, I knew that I couldn't keep living the way that I had been. And it started small for me because I didn't have the energy to make big changes. And so what I did, I moved my body. So it wasn't necessarily for weight loss, but it was more about circulation and about breath. Just gentle walks and stretching and dancing in the kitchen. And I'll be really transparent. I shared with you in a previous episode about the fact that just weeks after Tony passed, I had a health scare where I thought I was having a heart attack, and it was walking pneumonia. And so I'm saying this in these steps, the things that I started to do, and it was after my recovery from walking pneumonia. So I had that health scare, which led me down this path. And so in addition to moving my body, I switched from coffee to herbal tea. And so the blends, like I mentioned before about the soothing serenity, the lavender lullaby. With the soothing serenity, it was definitely the Hawthorne and the rose that helped to support my nervous system. And I started going to therapy for grief counseling. And I'll be honest, I cried every session. I remember going in and telling myself I wasn't going to cry, but I literally cried every session because I had to grieve the version of me who I thought passing through with strength. I had to grieve the loved ones that I lost, including Tony. I went to the doctor and I got a full workup. So I got blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, inflammation markers, and I had to know the truth, even if it scared me. And I created rituals at home. So started utilizing oils to just do light massage, hand massage, and feet massage. And I utilized scrubs, which helped me reconnect to my body. And my inner calm tincture, that was something that was in the making. When I tell you I created these products, these are things that I used that helped me in my recovery, in my healing, that I use to this day. I think about what can you do today even if you're busy. And you don't need to have the perfect morning routine. Ultimately, you just need to have a starting point. So, things that you can try. The first thing is definitely getting a heart screening, especially if there is a history. So, you want to ask for the labs and get your blood pressure checked. Get a blood pressure monitor. In the event you're working a corporate 9 to 5 job, you have health benefits. One of the things that they offer is if you're utilizing like a health savings account, you can get the blood pressure machine. Some companies go a little step further, but that is an option. You can get the machine, the portable machine, to be able to check your blood pressure. That's something that's readily available in the different pharmacies and then the local stores. The next thing that you can do is practice deep breathing, and that is inhaling through your nose for a 4 count, holding it for a 4 count, and exhaling for a 6 count. And just be intentional when you're breathing. Do this when you feel tightness in your chest especially, and that will help. Over time, it will definitely help to ease some of that tension and tightness that you have. And sleep. Getting sleep helps. It helps repair your heart. Um, Another thing is eat for your heart. So you want to incorporate more leafy greens and berries and less processed foods. And then staying hydrated. So you want to aim to get at least half of your body weight in ounces per day. And of course, these are suggestions to help, but you really have to listen to your body and do what works best for you. And grief, what grief taught me about my body. Grief doesn't live in your emotions, it lives in your tissues. And after Tony died, I started having random chest pains. I had trouble sleeping. I had issues with my digestion. And all of this was tied to stress and unexpressed emotions. And therapy helped. Having a community helped. And so did stillness. Taking quiet time in the morning, body oils, having the body oils, smelling the scents, and doing some journaling. I created the Radiant Roots. I created the Radiant Roots for women like me, like you, who need a place to rest before something breaks. And the concept of the Radiant Roots and future retreats, the goal really is not to just have a weekend getaway, but it really is an opportunity for you to be able to reset and just have a soft space to land, a space where you can reconnect with your body, with your rhythm, and with your breath. Whew. This episode is in memory of Tony. His passing, it has forever changed my life. And now I use my voice to change someone else's. And if his story helps even one person take a pause to check in, to go to the doctor, then it matters. Whew. Because no one should wait for tragedy to start healing. If you've been ignoring your body, ignoring your body's whispers, consider this your nudge. You're not here to just grind your life away. You're here to live. You're here to feel. You're here to thrive. Subscribe to the Burnout Diaries for weekly stories and support, and learn more about Salyana Essentials Wellness Retreats at SalyanaEssentials.com. And forward this video to someone who's running on empty, because your heart matters and you deserve to act like it. Thank you.